Alrighty, folks. We are currently going through your first Alex piloted stream, so bear with me. This landing might be a little rough. Uh,
Landing.
yes,
I was going to say takeoff.
and
But
take
Are we
off.
even in the air?
And,
are we even in the air yet?
might even be some turbulence on the way. So all I'm going to ask is that you be patient and bear with me. So tonight we are finally discussing something we probably should have discussed probably a week ago, which is
You did. Like half the
did.
panel here did discuss it, so don't sell yourself short.
Okay, you're right. We covered it, but this is the
This is the
official
Whitecloaks, okay?
discussion.
What do we
man,
know?
Good to see you, buddy. Let's keep the dreads on, keep the victory train rolling. So with that in mind, I think we're going to take 30 seconds and reintroduce the panel here. So we have I guess we're going to go clockwise here. So Steve, I'm putting you on the spot here. Give us a little intro to yourself, buddy.
I'm Steve. I like dragons.
He's on mute too. He's
You're
a
on mute,
very
buddy.
very experienced streamer.
I did mute myself because I wanted to hear Alex's illustrious voice. I do this a lot, right? Yeah. Dude, I've worked 12-hour days and then did a turnaround after 5 hours. I'm tired. Give me a break. You know who I am. I'm a crazy guy. I break keyboards. I hate Wheel of Time TV show. I'm here. I'm an honorary Whitecloak tonight.
He walks in the light.
Absolutely, he does. I am Alex. I'm going to be driving this thing. Normally, Pips does, but he's in undisclosed locations defending freedom, where the
Where they have
industrial complex's bottom line, depending on who you ask. So
eating Timbits. Uh-oh, did I just give away the plot?
there you go.
He's
And then
destroying
I guess
Canada? Is that what
I'm
he's
going
doing?
to.
I think he did invade me. Yeah.
Invade
That's
you?
what I legit think.
Whoa,
Unless
whoa, that's a different stream. Pips invaded you?
Okay, so if I have to put my money on Pips or the entire Canadian military,
My money's on Pips.
fair fight.
yeah, 50-50.
The only thing we got going for us is our special forces.
Are they really special?
They're very special.
Ed.
Okay.
You want to know how special the Canadian special forces are?
How special are they? Oh, sorry.
Okay, they're called Joint Task Force 2, and there was never a Joint Task Force 1.
Did they kill them all? Or
No.
they ate them for power?
No.
Oh, damn. Sorry.
And
Carried away.
Do they ride moose back?
they could. They don't need to, though.
I heard they still shoot crossbows up there in Canada.
Oh, yeah. Crossbow hunting's fun.
Oh, I meant in warfare. My bad. Sorry, I should have.
Well, I not want to get killed by a crossbow bolt. That's all I'm saying. It's a bad way to go, Steve.
Oh, you're damn right. I don't want to get shot by anything.
There you
Hide
go.
behind the moose. Okay.
So Dan, what are we? You got 30 seconds. Tell us about your expertise.
That's 30 seconds to minute. Okay. My expertise is I have all the books in hardback over there, and I've read the series collectively over a dozen times, and the early books a hell of a lot more. That's me.
Very good. A master of his craft. And Lady B, I know you have also put some time in with this series. What do you got?
I've read the whole series once. I desperately need a reread, but where were we? How far did we get on our re-listen to it? I think we're going to the Eye of the World.
Yep, we got about 2.5 hours left on the Eye of the World reread. So
yeah.
It's amazing how much you go back to those first few. I'm sure I don't know how much 3 or 4 times all the way through, but the first 6, I don't know, probably 6, 7 times. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I've just been trying to get through Lord of the Rings and stuff, but I'm here. We're doing this. So, okay, Alex, have you figured out how to play the clip that we're trying to watch?
We're gonna find out.
More importantly, did you monetize?
We don't know how to do this.
I do not know how to do that.
I know. I got you, man.
We're trying.
I got you, man. We gotta do a struggle
Steve,
session here.
while Alex is doing this, I got to tell you, man. But we got our first super chat on the Whitecloaks streams last night.
Nice.
Vic
cool.
gave us
Vic.
100 rupees, and then I figured out what 100 rupees was actually worth. But no, I'm kidding.
Vic is the man, though.
I appreciate the love,
Vic
Love
is
that guy.
awesome.
but
Vic
really, it's like we should get some more fans in like London and other places that like donate £100.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, it would be.
I don't know. I always feel weird a little bit.
Wait.
It's so nice that people are willing to do that.
Quick
Yeah.
question: is the Whammon of Wammenethrin, is that Nathan?
No.
Oh,
that's a covert op.
Is that an ant? Is that
me and Nathan unfortunately woke that organization back up. Matt knows quite a bit about the Whammon of Wammenethrin, so
okay? I just sounds like Nathan's got a psyop working on him. Okay, this had to be clear.
The Whammon of Wammenethrin hate us. Hate the Prophet of the Dragon. Hate Madam Menethrin with a passion. But we thought we had destroyed them, but they're back.
Okay, so we are here for a very important reason, and
Yay, I'm not big.
Fucking scissor weaves?
yeah,
What
me
the-
either.
What the hell is going on?
Yeah, so this season 2 preview. I don't know. Like, does anyone know anything more than it's just like some sneak peek at scene? Is this from the first episode?
As far as I know, this is the first 4 minutes of episode 1,
Yep.
Yeah.
This is the cold open for the season.
which is
So-
ridiculous.
So the fun thing that they'll be claiming to do, obviously, with it is that if you take out your copy of the Eye of the World, it included the prologue for the Great Hunt, but it's also in the start of the Great Hunt, obviously. So it's in 2 places. I think the idiots online claimed, however, that this was a common thing for Robert Jordan to do, but it's not. The Boar's prologue, the Darkfriend Social, it's the only one that appears both at the end of a novel as printed, as well as the beginning. I don't know about later editions because I don't own them. I have the originals.
Ain't no
And
bitch.
And I do know that in a lot of cases, especially the later prologues, I think starting with Winter's Heart, the prologue was released as like a PDF that you could buy online several months beforehand. So I own those too, by the way. But,
So I think sticking the prologue of the second season on to the end of season 1 is probably the most like accurate to the book that they've been so far. Is that fair to say?
well, it's the only way that they can claim it's an homage to something that they did with publication, but
Well, I was going to
everything else.
I've heard that this 4-minute clip is 1-to-1 from the books. At least that's right. Is that accurate?
Alex, can we kick Steve off like right now?
Wait, what are you talking about? That's
Just
I
boot him.
I clearly remember the part where the little girl pets a Trolloc and calls her Foofy and takes it home.
I presume we're not spoiling this for anyone who's joining us on our stream. Let us know in the chat if you haven't seen this yet, and maybe we could. Everyone's seen this, but it's like
this is a full spoilers. Mark Clark, thank you for joining us, first timer. Always awesome. I've seen you a lot on TechMex's stream, so lovely to get you over here. He's an awesome guy.
Yeah, we should probably say hi to the chat. I think we're forgetting our manners.
That is an excellent point. You can tell there's an amateur at the wheel. So I have in some
doing better than me.
I have in some form of order Mule, Matt, Mule again, Matt again, Thumb.
You're such a boomer.
What is happening?
From Maryland.
Oh my gosh.
There's Staple Boat, Trip,
Gadfly Fiction.
Hey, somebody
Kale,
needs to...
Staple Bow.
If anybody's not... I need a pity sub to get me over this 639 mark. I've been stuck at 639 for like 2 weeks.
Wait, what?
Crazy dude.
3,600.
Oh, shut up! You just said.
Yeah, everyone
You just
smash that
dropped
like button like we're gonna smash Steve, right?
dropped off the 3,000. Anyways,
I said.
it's okay.
Whatever.
All
What
right.
do you mean?
Anywho,
I guess we just need to do an RRR video.
Kaylee
Get
is
our,
exactly.
get our
You
numbers
got it.
up.
one man of one
100%.
another. And all right, now we're gonna get going.
Oh fuck.
Are we?
Okay, cool. Let's just pause here because I got a quick thing to say already, and we're gonna do. A lot of people were wondering if there's some significance about this 6-sided star, or is it an 8-sided star fucking house? 6-sided, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they just found a house that they thought looked cool, and they set it here. There's no further
100%.
thinking behind this.
Agreed.
There's no Wheel of Time significance to this. Maybe in like one of the later Sanderson books, there's like a 6-pointed star that he mentions as part of the Aes Sedai ritual, right? When Nynaeve has to go through her final testing and needs to like channel the weave at a particular symbol, and then they show like a Star of David or what.
Yeah.
That was a weird Sanderson invention. I think it might have been part religious illusion, but there is nothing significant about this house other than they went on a helicopter trip scouting out places, and they thought, oh, that looks neat. Let's use it. Done.
It is a cool
Sorry.
house, though.
Shut up.
So my understanding of the Darkfriend Social, and I really only caught this on a reread, is that this is taking place in one of Ishi's dream shards. Like they didn't actually haul everybody out to Shale Ghul. Like,
No, they might have close to it, and then either somebody or something's providing the traveling. It's ambiguous, but the setting where it is and the close to Shale Ghul, and that they're all physically kind of traveling. In that, like you have, it's all from Carradine's perspective, right? He doesn't wake up and all of a sudden he's there. He actually physically traveled somewhere. He had saddlebags and other things. And Inktar, if we presume he's the Shinaran who attends the Darkfriend Social, actually has to travel there. So it is a physical place. And I think it is the Ishamael palace that he has in the footsteps or foothills around Shale Ghul.
I got a question for the panel. Do we think they're going to give was it is Carradine? Is that what we said? Do we think we're giving that to Valda, or are they going to give that to Dane? Because we're not going to see Jacob Carradine at all.
I think it was assumed early in season 1 that they made Valda a questioner, and they made him a bad guy or just a cartoon kind of villain. So it wouldn't surprise me that they're combining him and that he's actually one of the people at this meeting.
What, Valda or Carradine?
Yep. Valda.
Okay.
I agree with you. I don't think they're going to introduce another Whitecloak.
Oh yeah, I figured Valda is going to get most of the Whitecloak parts. The bulk of them anyways.
Even though, like, what does that do to Egwene's character, right? She couldn't even accurately stab a guy in the neck. So disappointing.
Well, at least she did something other than mouth breather.
Yeah, and I could see that because they have to do they're so worried about representation, but we're going to make the black all the bad guys black. There's Chad and Fain, and then there's the Whitecloak, Valda, and yeah, and then there's Marion like killing his wife.
Swan's dad, father of the year.
Yep, yeah.
That is good.
All right, Alex, keep it going.
That is killing me tonight.
So apparently, when this was viewed under high gamma, where this little girl is playing, there's apparently like 6 of those rounded statuettes that all have got the Aes Sedai symbol. One of them's tipped over.
Yeah, I had mentioned that. I think I mentioned it. I don't know, but because I was sort of throwing it out there that do you think that they are going to use those statues to be symbolic of the seals of the prison? Well, because one is broken, and the Eye of the World was going to be considered a seal. In my it's all messed up. Just like I see you cringing physically, Dane, but you have to remember Nothing has anything to do with the books. So
No,
I'm just thinking the most ridiculous thing I can think of.
I'm going to say something even dumber, okay? I think this show is equating that yin-yang symbol, but it's a yin-yang without the countervailing
Yeah.
dots, the Aes Sedai symbol. I think they're equating that with the shadow. Because the other times we've seen the teardrop shape or whatever, the first time we saw it was actually Trollocs making a modern art piece in the Two Rivers.
You're right.
Yes.
You think
So-
so? You think the banner of light is evil? That's
Under this sign, he will conquer. But I mean,
Well, that's just silly enough to be right. I think you might actually be right. Holy
'Cause I-
crap!
when you look at how the symbol is used in the books, you've got the dragon's fang, which is used as a symbol of evil. You have the flame of Tarvalon, but not a whole lot of people connect the two together, because where you see the symbol put together is either on a seal of the Dark One's prison, or it is the ancient symbol of the Aes Sedai that is in disuse, and Rand revives it after he goes to the waste and comes back. Right? Under the sign he will conquer.
They did a dragon fang on the Suan Sanche cold open, didn't they? Wasn't there a dragon fang scrawled on?
It was scrawled on her door.
Yeah,
Really,
but
really big, and like,
Staple. And Staple.
thanks for
I
doing
don't-
that while burning down the house. Like, that's kind of
Yeah.
defeats the point. It's like, oh
Well,
no,
you know
someone scrawled the dragon fang on my door, and they burned my house down.
and then Staple. I don't think they've mentioned any seals at all, because officially the Dark One has been broken out of
Fuck.
out of his prison in episode 8. Like,
Oh,
that's where we're
right.
at. We're operating under
So-
that was the Darkwood's prison right now.
So all that we can speculate about this location is that, okay, this is where the bad guys show up to have their, group therapy sessions or team meetings. It's by some woods. It's like not in the blight or anything. You can bring your daughter to work, but we'll get into that. And there's like 6 statuettes with the Aes Sedai symbol around it, but those appear to be symbols of evil now, at least to an uninitiated person watching the show.
Right. No, and that's I think that's the bigger
Yeah,
point.
I think Trip is right. Yeah, they said the seal is broken, and then that it was the whole giant thing on the floor. So I guess they just moved one out from there and put it in their little garden. I don't know. It's so stupid.
But I think what Dane said there is important, because if you are somebody coming into the show that hasn't read anything, what else do you think then that symbol is evil? Because you're right, it's just hanging around with evil people. Evil things happen around that symbol, right? So
Yeah,
I think you nailed it.
it's sheep
Speaking of evil
carcasses.
things-
It's Trolloc blood coming out of a pool. It's scrawled on poor Swan's burnt down house.
And
That's
then
where the dark one broke free from, and now we're seeing it at House Full of Darkfriend. Like,
There was one before in that deleted scene where Egwene's going to do that stuff in the pool with the colors. They're actually the shot of the when they're walking into the cave is like the shape of a dragon's fang too.
Oh, and the Trolloc blood when SEAL Team Nynaeve kills the Trolloc.
yeah, the Wayne Yip transitions that you loved.
Ah!
SEAL Team Nynaeve, I love that. That's the best.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Do you guys get audio on this, by the way?
No.
Thankfully not.
No audio right now. Do you have closed captioning on? I mean, that'll work.
I did not.
Like, even if they're not reading it, but yeah, we're not getting sound right now.
So, does everyone agree that this is a Tinker Girl?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
100%. I don't think there's a doubt. I mean,
So,
what?
Alex, do you have the
The
closed
Dothraki
caption?
come out of the forest. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Alex, do you have the closed caption turned on?
I do
Not
not.
that they're not. Can you? Because not that they're going to say anything yet, but I mean, we could maybe get some
I do not have it.
at all.
No, sorry guys. Didn't grab it.
Did I?
So Chloe Grace Moretz just ran
Is it Moritz?
whatever her name is. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know. She's the one with the tight donut, and Hillary Clinton's the one with the saggy donut.
Yes.
dang.
Probably not her most defined role, but I'll give it to you.
It is for me.
Okay. So boys, there's a lot to unpack with just what happened here.
Trolloc just jumping around. Did anyone notice? Like, can you go back and just look at the backside of it, like that one shot before they clip to this? Like, just look at the size of it. Like when it comes like right here, like compared to the
That
girl,
looks so-
like,
Did you
it's
see
so
that?
small.
Well, I was looking for see if I had a video, but did you like? I came back with the Trolloc jumping over. Like it looks so janky.
It's worse than like I've seen video games that are better. Like a video game that got someone running in like a 3D motion capture suit would probably capture the movement better than that. Like it's
so bad. And shoot, oh my god!
All right, I gotta show Aldan. Mate, I got myself a nice German Stein with like horses and shit on it.
Because you love Pip so much, you miss him.
I do miss him. It's like
Me too.
me Pips. But it's just a nice light Grolsch beer, which is kind of German. It's like just over the border in Holland, so it's like I could kind of have a quasi-German beer in my German mug, but it's not actually German, so perfect.
Oh boy.
Yep.
I can't believe there's a tinker little girl in
There's no
Darkfriend
security,
Social
nothing at all. She just
with-
ran from there.
with
So-
Ishmael.
Now there is a tinker that Boars or Carradine notices in the social, so that's not out of place. And the tinker in particular is one that like obviously like didn't disguise himself very well. He's like still in his garish coat and whatnot, and Carradine can't believe it. That's not the unbelievable part. The unbelievable part is that you'd bring your fucking daughter to work day here. Like,
well, the whole point of that is to highlight how much like people should be hiding their identities, right? And the fact that Carradine can just pick out it's a tinker.
Well,
it's like so this just the fact that you can just look around the room and there's a guy wearing the freaking Valdara like sigil.
Yeah,
it's like why don't you just identify yourself?
This is where I think there is a cascade of bad choices, and let me explain here. So when we first saw a shot of this, because I think there was a still image way before there was even the trailer where this was featured, or else it was in the behind the scenes. But the initial speculation was, is this a meeting of Forsaken, or is this the Darkfriend Social, i.e. the Boars prologue? And a lot of that revolved around, they're all seated around a round table. And why would Ishmael, who's, head of the Forsaken, he's Nablus, right? Or he becomes that. Why the hell would he be sitting at a table of equals, or at a table, period, was the Forsaken, and symbolically a round table where there is no head of the table and people
Exactly.
the whole Arthurian thing. That was the initial debate. So that was a stupid decision right out of the gate, but it looks like they went with it. Now, a cascading decision that comes from that is someone obviously felt that the little hints at everyone's identity, because they're all cloaked and hooded, the hints kind of from, the fucking upper arm all the way down, right? Because those cloaks don't really hide many of those details. That wasn't enough. So we need to have two things. The cloaks need to stop at the waist for some inexplicable fucking reason. And we now need to shift to the perspective of a little girl who climbs under the table to basically
raincoats.
give you guys more clues as to who's at this meeting.
Well,
I said before, like, this is not two-dimensional shit or three-dimensional shit. This is shit to the fourth dimension. We're back in the shit tesseract. This is not going to be a good show.
No.
Was there ever any doubt?
There's been a few comments that I've had on some of mine. Sorry, Alex. Go ahead.
So the number one thing that strikes me, and a lot of people have said this, and Stableboat calls it on the chat, and even Dan, you said this, is why the fuck is Ishi acting like he's just with the boys? Like in the books, they're all like hanging out. Ishi walks in and everybody drops to their face. They lay down on the floor. I mean, Ishi basically
and
says,
Ishi's doing his edgelord thing, like, I am the Dark One. Like, you all better, like, align yourself with me because we're going to, like, take this shit over and burn this crap to the ground. And I'm like, I don't think this Ishi in the show, like, Has he even done anything that makes him a bad guy? I mean,
No,
honestly,
that's
he hasn't
it.
had his moment. He
That's
has done
why-
nothing.
The only bad thing he's done is tried to sell you Subarus, and that's it. Like,
No. He tried to sell Rand on a dream, which seemed pretty nice, but ultimately Rand realized it was patriarchy, it was male privilege, and he rightfully chose Egwene's career over his own happiness.
there you go.
It's not what she wants.
It's just yeah, I don't know. It like I don't know. I just remember I have to read this.
No,
social part again. I
in
just
keeping with
remember
this
it, like,
vein, what's coming up here is we're going to see a lot of patriarchy and male privilege coming up, especially like how he treats the little girl so friendly.
I
like,
feel
God.
like I just want to
No,
question,
I'm just
like, what
reaching.
is their like weird obsession with children? Like, there's that the start of the second episode is really, really, really creepy, and I could go into details with what I think is going on there, but I won't because this is YouTube and that's not a YouTube safe discussion. But
with the little Indian serving boy.
mhm. And what that got and the significance of the like little bird that he's eating and what that has meant in like esoteric and sort of
well, like, are they related to
untoward
people in the
circles.
production? Like,
I
like,
think
I don't-
it's.
I don't
I
know.
think.
This show is made by weirdos for weird people. Like, let's not
Yes,
forget.
it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is very like. I think it symbolizes a very specific thing that has to do with children, and yeah, and I question that because there's like that scene, and that's really creepy. There's that weird scene with Matt and the DH Else Grimwell where he's like, it's very predatory. Like, I don't think he was trying to help her. It was very creepy, and the little kid on the beach where you're.
Oh.
Murdering an innocent child, and like, you know, what Rafe's response to fans saying this is horrible, why did you do that? And he's just like doesn't care. And yeah, and then it's like this is so creepy.
We can't forget. No, young Swan. Like,
yeah,
there
young
was
Swan. Oh, good. Yes.
being sent
All right,
up the river.
We got $100 super.
Whoa,
Shut the
Lyle.
fuck up.
Oh,
Lyle go crazy.
So, Lyle, first of all, thank you, sir. You are a gentleman and a scholar. He says, hail to you all on this fine panel. Congrats on monetization. Just here's a little something for you guys and gals. I look forward to your coverage of the desecration of what has become my second favorite series behind only Lord of the Rings. Also, I'm just starting A Crown of Swords. Hail. Lyle,
Nice.
hail to you. We doing this for you, doing this for everybody.
Thank you, Lyle.
Want to give this series the representation that it deserves, because it's truly a phenomenal series of books, and it should be treated with respect.
Yeah, not this garbage.
Swan has tattoos as a child. Just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, exactly.
She's born with them. Wasn't she born with them? I'm trying to play the straight man, Dane. Come on.
How many tattoos do your kids have, Steve?
They're born with them. Like, we had to have them lazily removed. That's what, didn't you know that's how babies are born? They have
The
weird
proper
symbols
answer is
on
like,
them.
I don't tattoo my kids, I brand them.
They just come out, and they gotta use like a magic eraser. Like, you gotta get one of them like, you know, Mr. Clean magic erasers, and they rub off. It's not that big a deal.
No, I really do think it's interesting how the show treats children and how it uses them, though, because there is,
There's Matt's little sisters.
Yeah, I mean, so if you basically go back through the show, children are basically used exclusively to sort of clumsily and ham-fistedly make you feel something. Like, you know, this one is, oh, we have a little girl that the dark friends are screwing with, and I guess, you know, grooming to be evil. Like, okay, this makes them bad. We have a little girl that the Shan decide to use a magical nuke on. This makes them bad. We have Ellis Grinwall, who a bunch of Fades murder. This makes them bad. There's even more. We have Matt's sisters, who their mom and dad abuse. This makes them bad. It's basically like we have the Indian kid in episode 2, who, for whatever reason, the Whitecloaks just drag around, which again makes them bad. And I'm just very confused. It's like if Rafe ever wants to tell you that somebody is bad, he just has them like fucking abuse or be near a child. It's bizarre.
Wait,
But if the child can rise through that, if the child can rise through all that adversity and get on her boat and pull her way up 3,000 miles upriver, she can become the Almerlin seat.
Yep. And
so
Stablebow and
Layla-
Lady B also called it out.
Oh, the
I think
fetus?
Steve was about to as well.
Fetus.
Yes. We also have one more I didn't mention that gets a rough ending.
Well,
Ra-
Layla
Ra-
obviously wanted to be a blacksmith. She did not want to have this child, so
Well, at least the puppy ate it in the dream, right?
Oh,
that
gross. Oh, fuck. Oh, God.
What? It's a symbol of rebirth, Dane. A dog eating a fetus. Like, come
Wait.
on.
Well,
I know. I'm trying. Stop it. I'm trying
Under
to be.
what
sure.
mythology?
Whichever one Twitter follows.
Wait, what?
I'm just kidding. man.
Communism?
Okay.
Well,
All
no.
right.
They're making that wolf. They're gonna make that wolf that keeps showing up. That actual puppy. They're gonna make that Hopper. Right?
oh my gosh.
Because not to get this off track too much, but I think it was Salty Link be something that Rafe said that Hopper's in season 2.
Well, are we
So-
sure that Perrin's going to kill a couple of Whitecloaks, or is that going to be Avienda doing it for him?
Yeah.
God, I hope so.
Yeah.
Not
Oh, it'll
Vienna's
be
gonna
Avienda,
do it.
Yeah,
Not
we got a
Vienna.
lot to look forward to.
Yeah, Perrin's gonna get saved by Avienda, absolutely.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Oh boy,
Gird your loins.
Gerd.
This under the table thing. This is so funny. It reminds me of how me and Alex went and watched Spider-Man, that latest Spider-Man thing, and it was like, how dumb is it that like these
Just got her Wolverine claws out.
I know, and it's like the kids, like they're dressed up as Spider-Man, right? And like the dad's a police chief because that's how it is in every universe, and like they can't recognize their kid's own voice. Like it's just so dumb. It's such a dumb trope, and that's like what this is. It's so obvious who these people are. It's like,
So, how many people are around the table? Did we do a count of that?
oh, I don't think we
I
did.
don't think we did, but there's 2 midgets. I know that's a fact. Or 2 kids. I don't.
Well,
there's 2
we
very
can
small
wait.
people.
We can wait until there's the overhead shot.
Good clip. That terrible scene
God.
of the Trolloc jumping. And yes, Scotty, the cloaks only cover.
Yeah, they go to the waist.
Their only hoods are to the waist. Like it's ridiculous.
So I'm going to start counting this spot. So we know that Ishii is here, right?
So we have like the red, like floral robes.
That's got to
don't
be.
know.
I think that's the Tinker Mom. So we can put that down. We've got Suroth with her Wolverine claws.
There
We
is
know there's a
something
white cloak.
Yeah.
We know that there's an Aes Sedai with a black ring pop that
Ring.
could be a different color, but we're not going to delve into it too much because Lyle said in his awesome super chat he's only on a Crown of Swords. And I think Nerdporial might be here too. So I'm going to speculate about that in vague terms because this might be a spoiler, in which case it's the show's fucking fault for basically edging people towards that, which is almost unforgivable. But anyways. So I've got Ishii, Tinker, Suroth, Whitecloak, Aes Sedai. We have a Shinaran, who's probably is Ingtar.
Yep.
Yeah.
Padan Fain.
Padan Fain. Jesus, Padan Fain.
How do you know? Oh, because he
took his fucking.
That's so funny.
Just to ogle the little girl's butt. Like it's like, what are you doing?
It's to provoke the Leo DiCaprio shot or whatever from fucking Once Upon a Time. He's just like, oh look! All right.
So wait,
Suroth.
real quick, can we go back to that? Do we think that Suroth or Suroth's does Suroth's handmaid also have the nails? No. Okay.
I don't think
wasn't
so.
sure.
I think Suroth and Turok are the ones, but I mean that's her dress. I mean this is done to basically. Someone's going to see that and they're going to know immediately. Like, oh, I saw that in the first episode. And they're going to be proud of making that connection.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, you're right. It's an insult to our intelligence. Like we couldn't take little other hints. We couldn't. No, we have to see it.
Oh
So-
my god.
I'm
there's the
pretty
Aes
sure
Sedai.
that's black.
It's black. It's
Okay.
definitely
Black.
No. You guys all know, if I'm speculating it about it being a different color, what's worse? What's dumber? Or
Oh, dumber would
Actually-
be the other thing, but I think
now, I think a black ring would be really, really dumb in world,
okay.
being like, I'm showing off that I'm a dark friend.
Yeah.
But if it's the other thing,
It's
and seriously, you can maybe think of 3 of these sisters off the top of your head that belong to that Aja.
Yeah.
And like two of them are a bit of a. I know there's more, but it's like, okay, you're thinking way later in the books, or you're thinking about Adelius.
So I think it's for sure black, just because the ring itself isn't gold either. They made that like a gray off color ring as well. So it's just it's literally a black Aja dark bad guy Aes Sedai ring.
Well, and here's the other thing, okay? And I was thinking about this before our stream, but what does it say that there's a glove on the hand and the ring over top? Other than the stupidity of the mechanics, what it says to me as a viewer or a person analyzing this is you want to disguise their identity as a character. So if she's got a dark skin tone or a light skin tone, has an old wrinkly hand or a young looking hand, but you don't want to disguise that she's an Aes Sedai. So it's the show basically wanting to show that there's an Aes Sedai here, but not wanting to show you which one it is. And it's incredibly stupid because no one wears rings outside their gloves.
Yes, it's wearing your underwear outside of your jeans. I did want to call out, we've all been so focused on the ring. Lady B, in your professional costume making experience, what can we say about that dress?
That she's wearing now?
Yeah, I mean, it's got perfectly circular sequins.
Oh Jesus!
It's
Is
not
she wearing a hot
period.
pant?
I don't know what she's wearing. I don't even know if that's like her dress or if it's like the chair or something. I don't know. Like everything, if it is something they're wearing, it would be incredibly fancy because nothing is even like at that level in the show.
Hey, I just have to ask: do you think we're gonna have cocktails and finger sandwiches after?
God, I
Yes,
hope so.
Are the Trollocs gonna bring them in because they're
Yes.
puppies? Oh, sorry.
Narg comes in to serve your order.
He's like, champagne.
Well, I mean, there was wine and servants being handed out at the Darkfriend Social, but
Yeah, the Zomara or whatever. They're like the child-looking or dead-eyed constructs
You know what I'm
that were
talking-
too
I'm
beautiful
talking
and
about,
just creepy.
afterwards.
yes, I get what you're saying.
But I just have to highlight that what should have happened is the little girl went from being in sort of danger to in the worst place she could possibly be in instead she's safe. It's like the most ridiculous thing. Like it's still just it drives me crazy because just like she is probably in so much more danger where she's at
I know,
than
right?
outside with the Trollocs.
I just see this scene and I'm like, I see a red ring pop and want to paint it black. I wonder who this could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dead on.
Ugh.
We know who it is.
We do.
It's Suan.
There we go.
According to Twitter.
Okay, so that on my list, that's a Shinaran. We're gonna call it Inktar. Now she goes to Mum.
Okay, that's a different dress than that
Yeah,
first
it is
one
a
that we
different
saw.
dress.
That's a Tinkerer male next door too. Look at his pants.
Yeah, the first red dress, like I'm gonna guess it might be somebody from Andor because it looks like red and gold roses.
There's an overhead shot, isn't there?
I
Yeah.
think that comes up a little bit later.
Yeah, there's an overhead shot to get the number, but that's a Tinker. It looks like a Tinkerer next to. There's two Tinkerers, and now we have the car salesman himself.
Why is he quipping?
Hello, young lady. I don't think you can drive yet, but I have the perfect vehicle for you.
You're interrupting a meeting. You're a naughty girl. It's like
I'm selling
Somebody needs
timeshares.
a
What are you
pointing-
doing? By the way, does your mother want to go come in?
And he's got that ring Angreal that you saw Lewis Theron with in the
He's
cold
got a
open of episode
fucking
8.
Doctor Strange sling ring. It's fucking awesome.
I can't wait for him to use it like that too. That's what it's gonna be too. I hope so. Do you think he's gonna go do the whole thing?
God, I hope so. God, I hope so.
Oh my god!
That's probably what he does in the trailer. But
oh my gosh! Hello. Ooh, you're a dead biatch. Why are you in here? I don't know. I'm an idiot. Hello.
is there any reason to discuss the lines that he either said before this while she was okay? Here
No.
we can pause.
No,
All right,
no.
there's no reason. Okay,
No. The lines are just like him being like, "What are you doing here?
So there's
Are
12.
you scared? Come out!" And then it's just.
And I think the only thing that they say here that's really significant is that they don't know who the dragon is. So we're back to the dragon mystery box again.
well, yes and no, because that is technically a line actually from the Boris prologue or the Darkfriend Social, where Ishamael gets up and he basically starts spouting that like there is one who is or was but not yet.
Or
the dragon.
he has not assumed the man. I think
Yeah,
I remember listening to it. Like,
yeah, he hasn't declared it. But the issue, as with everything with the show, is that when we complain about lines from the books that are dropped into the show, we have to remember the show's context. So the show's context is 5 dragons, a 5-headed dragon. Everybody can be the dragon. And they want to perpetuate the mystery box stuff. So are we going to go through another round of that mystery box bullshit? So with that context, them choosing this line out of all the lines that they could have taken from, a 20-page or 30-page prologue, that speaks volumes, or that gets us worried, essentially. Very similar, and that these idiots can't grasp that something like the lioness line that Lan gives in episode 8, the context has completely changed with that line too, because they had sex already, and now Lan's pumping and dumping. And they can't get that. Well, guess what? We're not the only ones who got that, because if you recall back to the stupid Reddit AMA that Rafe did, someone asked him, are there any other lines from the books that are coming into the show? And he said that he had to fight tooth and nail to include one in a later episode, and I hope fans enjoy it. Well, the reason why he had to fight tooth and nail is because some production executive basically said, this makes Lan look like a real piece of shit because he fucked her in the last episode. So are you sure you want to use that? I don't think you should. I think it makes him look like a scumbag and unlikable. But nope, he knew better. He stuck in the line from the show from the books, and ruined everything.
That just the context of that line just cheapened the whole thing.
So if Rand is not the dragon, if he hasn't declared himself or proclaimed, I know it's from the books, but view that line in the context of season 1 and how basically they invested so much time and effort into underplaying Rand and overplaying the other characters,
Right.
especially Egwene.
What's interesting? So. Yeah, we just listened to it, and my thought when we listened to it is that the dragon is here, but it was that he hadn't because he declares himself, right, and he hadn't done that yet. So it's like he's out in the world now, but he just hasn't said I'm the dragon. I think that's at least how I thought it sounded like to me when we were listening to it again today.
Well, and there's one other fun nuance, at least in the books, associated with Rand declaring himself to be the dragon, and that's that both the other false dragons, Mazrim Taim being one of them, and an unnamed false dragon in Haddon Merk, both basically got defeated by a magical bolt of lightning or some inexplicable event at the moment that Rand declared himself, because that's when the pattern stopped crying out for a dragon.
Exactly. I think that's what they meant, but you know how the show does. They just pick and choose and say, no, well, it said here.
Drop in a line from the books and basically ruin it.
Yeah.
Because they already changed the context. So now he walks around the table and he talks about, he got called names. So I'm pretty sure Twitter of Time can empathize with Ishamael here, right?
Yeah. Some people have called me a monster too.
You are a monster.
Was it the genocide? Was it the mass genocide?
You are complete. You are like the incarnation of evil. You're the evil's number one guy. Yeah, you're a monster, and you actually like that. Like that you are. It's like
No, fuck you guys. What is he saying here? He's bitching and complaining about being called betrayer of hope. Where does that first come up? It comes up in the prologue of the Dragonmount prologue. And he literally says that he embraces the name, unlike you, Dragon.
Yeah, he likes being well. They keep saying
all the Forsaken embraced the names that were meant to scorn them.
Yes, exactly. And then they called me the father of lies or the betrayer. It's like, dude. It's
again, this guy, like, other than saying I'm a bad guy, how do we know this guy is bad? What has he done? Oh my god.
I'm really worried that they're actually not trying to portray him as bad.
I have a feeling that too.
Yeah. He did stab Moiraine in a dream, so like clearly that makes him a bad guy, right?
Not necessarily.
I mean, I also wanted to stab Moiraine, but
I know
that.
And it was all a joke. Anyways.
Yeah. So do we agree that there's like 13 seats on that table?
Yeah.
I counted 12.
Hold on.
Oh man.
All right. Starting red dress lady. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
What, and 12 is Ishi's seat?
12 is Ishi's empty chair.
Or the dark one. They still haven't really done the work to call him Ishi yet.
It's so damn dark, but I think you're right in that it might look like there's a chair right at 3 o'clock, but I think that's the little girl getting pulled out from under the table.
That's her.
Yeah, I'm with you, Brian. It looks like the House of the Undying. But and that girl's giving me Arya vibes.
Well, it's like the one like at 12 o'clock right there, sitting right at the top of the table. That looks like a child or a small person.
Yeah, it's the girl coming out from under the table.
No, I'm talking about directly to the top of the screen. The
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock.
I see that. Yeah.
In between, I love how let's all show our wrists. So all eagle-eyed viewers can watch and see pick out who is at the
This is honestly why I thought it was the Darkfriend Social and not a Forsaken gathering, because they were hooded, but then I thought it was stupid just how obvious they were being with revealing identity by showing all the different kind of forearm down. But never in my wildest dream would I think that they would go even stupider and frame the scene from the perspective of a child underneath the table to then get more detail on everyone's costumes because the robes stopped at their waist. Like, I've said this over and over. You cannot predict how fucking retarded the show is because we can string a couple thoughts together and ergo are smarter than these people. We can't think like they do. It's impossible.
Okay, I'm just going to make a prediction that person, there's two people in red. There was a tinker person and she had the mirrors and hippie skirt. And then there's this other one that we saw in the beginning when she first goes under the table. I think that might meet Morghese or some other like Andorran person, like the one that's right by the empty chair. I'm getting like feels off of that.
If there was someone in a red dress, I wouldn't put it past them to have two Aes Sedai at this meeting, and they focus on one of them. And that's in large part because I've read the books, and I know there are two Aes Sedai that show up in the Boris prologue. It's the two that are talking to each other. They don't have ring pops, but, Boris has...
There's no ring pops, eh? There's only one ring pops. There could only be one Aes Sedai.
No. The blue sleeves up top there might be nice, like a blue Aja type deal.
I like the cuffs on that one guy.
That's fucking good God.
It's so stupid.
The cuffs are sexy.
You can already tell People are gonna be creaming themselves when they go, "Did you see the guy with the close to the gloves in episode 2? That guy was at the Darkfriend Social." Blah blah blah. It's like, oh my god, please stop.
All right, I'm going to do some more speculation simply because I know who's been cast or what characters have been cast and what they'll likely do. But we've already gone through Ishi, Tinker. Maybe there's a Tinker number 2, but that takes care of 3. Suroth, a Whitecloak, probably Valda, I think. Aes Sedai, Shinaran, so Ingtar, Fain. I'm saying Aes Sedai 2. Ishi's at the... oh, sorry, I already said Ishi. So I'm on 9. Got spots for 3 more. I think Lord Barthane's Damodred is going to be at this meeting too.
That's probably Cufflinks guy.
So that we'll watch for when we see the Barthane's episode. But I think that's a storyline that they'll probably be combining. That Moraine, because she can no longer channel the power, goes back to House Damodred, and for somehow they're going to sandwich that whole encounter together. I think that the Kyrian and Palace thing is probably all Lord Barthane's manor, but. Watch for that character. I think he played in like the Tudors before, so forget the actor who did him, but I'll recognize him when I see him. But if he's got bold fucking white white cuffs with some dark cufflinks, I think we've identified 7 o'clock guy.
I think that's a great call out. Got a super chat from Nerdporial here. Yeah, he was inquiring if Dane has any pointers for writing an Eye of the World book review.
Yeah, just
I'm
talk
going
to
to
me.
preempt Dane's first comment, which is if you call it a Lord of the Rings copy, he's going to find you and fight you.
Yeah, I will. It's an anti-Lord of the Rings. But honestly, Nerdporial, the Eye of the World, if you're going to review the book, prepare to review it again once you've read the whole series and then reread it, because that's the true joy of the Eye of the World. Some people, it's not their favorite. Maybe they don't get into the series until book 4. But if they stick with it, and then once they get to that reread point, your appreciation for that book just grows constantly because you pick out more and more from it. But no, I can help you out, dude. So we'll chat offline about that. Happy to help.
So, do we think they have the intestinal fortitude to put an Aiel at this table?
Ooh.
And do we
maybe
think
it's that guy with the white? Well, no.
Wristband.
White,
I'm thinking Bracer Boy next to Midget at what? That'd be 11 o'clock, or is that the Shinaran?
Might be this.
Probably the Shinaran.
This show is so stupid. If they had
a black guy at 9 o'clock, right?
No, if they had an Aiel at this meeting, you would know because he'd have 3 fucking spears jutting out from behind his cloak.
Yeah.
You're probably right. Yeah.
Oh, that's grim.
I think 9 o'clock is Fain. That's the perfect ogling seat for looking at.
Yeah, I think you're right, because they go out about 10 o'clock, right? That's where the hallway is. So they walk a little bit around, and then they go out. Hey, Vic, what's up, dude?
Vic.
Hey,
yes.
Vic.
Barthane's absolutely inconsequential because he basically shows up for one scene and then, spoilers, gets fucking murdered.
Yeah. Moraine's sister, too, right? Like, she's important.
She cares nothing but for her horses and her falconry. They won't put her on the throne.
Let's give her 2 episodes worth of content. Let's do it. Awesome.
They will. Well, she was actually decent in Rome, that actress. But anyways,
I don't fault any of the actors or actresses. They're just trying to make do their thing. It's not their fault. But
and they're on strike now, which we can appreciate.
Yeah. Thank goodness. Stay out.
Keep picketing. You're not missed. All right, what's Matt saying?
Matt is commenting, sure is a lot of fireplaces.
Wait, is that who was it that said that's how they teleport in? Like in
Harry Potter.
Like Harry Potter. They're port keys.
Flu powder.
I totally hope that's what it is. Please.
God, that would be incredible.
Oh my gosh.
It would actually be quite funny to hear like a behind the scenes commentary about this scene and have Padan's Fain actor being like, that was a tough scene. We were decked out in our costumes and then we had to put on these black robes and I had this fireplace right behind me. It was like a sweltering 100 degrees in there. It's just, good point. God, okay. Could this get any dumber? Oh yeah, it could.
Oh yeah, Subaru comes right through that left wall in a second here.
So he talks about all the names he's been called.
Yeah, let's
They
name
hurt
drop.
my fifis.
Oh god, the stupid just name dropping bullshit. It's just like, oh, I can't stand it. See, we know we've read the book.
Oh, there he
God.
goes.
Oh my
Look
God.
What are we
at
doing?
that face.
Wait, so white
No.
wristbands here. That's Barthanes, probably, right? Is that what you thought?
No, that's
Oh shit! No.
Whitecloaks.
No.
That's
Yeah,
Whitecloaks,
that's
that's
not
Whitecloaks.
cufflink. Cufflinks guy Barthanes had like gloves as well, but
You're
not
right,
Aes
that's
Sedai
Whitecloaks.
gloves because
Yeah, that's the Whitecloak guy.
Aes Sedai black glove, black ring did not
Where's
have
his-
white cuffs.
Where's his shoulder fin at? If that's a white cloak.
It's probably like
Oh, sorry.
like cuffing out the keeping the thing straight.
It might
And
honestly
why,
be there.
why
I
is
can't.
the white cloak like looking at Fain going, what the fuck are you doing? Put your hood back on.
They had to remove it so they could get Fane's face in the shot.
I know. I still can't get over
they
how
had-
stupid it is that he's there. It's like, where did we leave
Yes.
him? He has the dagger. He
It's
has
over.
the horn. Like,
over.
dude, like,
Can you
it's
believe?
over, guys.
Can you believe the fact that Padan Fain is going to give the Dark One the Horn of Valir, and then the Horn of Valir is going to get passed from the Dark One or Ishi, whatever you want, from the used car salesman to the Shan-Chan. Like,
So this is a good time to discuss Padan Fain is he's a fascinating character in the books and what he represents. And I think that's arguably his end is the ultimate disappointment with the Memory of Light. Because I think there was a good way to build that up, and I don't think that was executed very well. A lot of the other stuff in the books were executed very well, but Fain and his fifth or whatever ultimate alter ego was not. But he was a very interesting growing nemesis, especially to Rand. But at this point in the series, in the books at least, we know he's gone into Shadar Logoth and he's kind of merged with Mordath. So he represents kind of a combat of two different kinds of evil. It gives him enhanced abilities throughout. But at the start of the Great Hunt, when he's escaped again, told to escape, and he's got the horn and he's got the dagger with him, there's an erratic behavior to the Trollocs that they're chasing, right? With Huron and Ingtar and all the rest, where they seem to veer north one half of the day and then veer south again. So they kind of go in a zigzag pattern if you follow how it's all done. And it's because there's a combat or there's a struggle within the party of Trollocs, Myrddraal, Darkfriends, and Fain, who's ultimately got control.
Right.
And whenever Fain reasserts himself, he moves them away from Shale Ghul.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, what is he doing up here? Like, I know it's not in the Blighter, but he's already a dark friend that's become more than just a dark friend. He's gone rogue. The Shadow views him as a liability, or is it about to? But certainly at this point,
well, and like,
what have they not done with Fain's character in order to justify him here, or have they not even thought it through? I think it's the latter.
Yeah, I think.
I don't even think they picked it up on that like subtlety of his character. They wouldn't even realize that was happening.
Well, Fain isn't Fain in the show at all. He's not even close, right? So I mean, but like,
why did they give him the Well, they gave him the dagger already and had him kill Loyal.
They wanted to circumvent him being captured. They wanted to skip the whole blood calls blood thing, even though they look like Fain is not Fain. He's just not. It's that they've skipped all the things that make him interesting. Like and then like I was just wanted to note that this is the type of stuff. Fain in particular right now, where you get people sprouting off about, oh, they're giving Fain more nuance. It's like, did you read the same books? At this point, Padan Fain is incredibly cool, creepy, and like doing all kinds of cool things. Right?
He's a one-dimensional character in the show, right? He's a face that hangs out in the background and he smiles at little kids in a weird way. Like that.
People that are saying we're getting more insight to the Forsaken. It's like, no, we're not. I don't know who this guy is. Like, what do you mean? So it's just, I don't know. It's crazy.
So what I can conclude is I don't think he's picked up anything in Shatter Logoth, or at least that's not hinted at. He got the dagger in Tarvalon from Matt somehow. He also got a freaking trifoil leaf, and that's how he was able to use the ways without channeling.
Apparently, yeah. Apparently, they're retconning that.
And then he stole the Horn of Valir and the dagger, and he went right to here. And no, this can't be a flashback. That's other people trying to justify that maybe this is a flashback.
Flashback? Well,
yeah.
what?
But then just ignore everything that Ishamael or the Subaru car salesman far as says at the meeting, because that strongly implies this is after the show's events at the Eye of the World. Like that, it's not a flashback. This is after Padan Fain has the horn.
Yeah, 100%.
So what? Why are they going on the Great Hunt? The Shadow's got the horn. It's under lock and key.
Over,
like,
right?
Like,
it's over.
Well, let's give it to Suroth. She's at the meeting.
The whole thing is, oh my god! I mean, he's got the dagger too. It's like the whole oh man.
This hurts, and it's about to get worse, right, Alex?
It is indeed.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, that's Mr. Whitecloak. Oh, here we are outside. We are going to save the Trollocs.
Here's a question: Did the little girl run in from the same? Like they're obviously going out the same way. Maybe I've answered it myself. She enters into the table, then at 10 o'clock, Ishi pulls her out at 3 o'clock. They walk around the table and go back out the same entrance.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah. There should be Trolloc brains on the door, but whatever.
I like how they forgot to make this one tall.
Yeah, I mean, none of them have been tall. I mean, they were the same size as the girl when she ran in the house, and I don't know. I still think it's like the whole framing of this part is just so creepy and weird. The way that the shots are of him and the girl, like just what's even going on. The fact that they had to devote what is this 5 minutes or something to this whole thing. It's just
here's a question for you guys, and Alex, I'd like your perspective on it, because one thing we do know about the show is that it probably underwent a shit ton of reshoots. Do you think in the first cut of this scene that they filmed, he actually feeds the little girl to the Trolloc?
No.
And then an executive at Amazon said, "We can't show that. Do it again." No. And then they're just like, "Fuck it. Let's just have him pet the Trolloc."
I don't think they would have shown that. What they would have done is they would have had him put her down. She reaches out to it, and then he turns around and leaves, and you hear her scream in the background as he goes back inside.
Yeah, but that's what I'm. A scene or whatever that implies that he basically took the little Tinker girl out to feed the Trollocs, and then maybe he goes back to the meeting and tells the mom, "This is why you don't bring your daughter to work."
That makes too much sense, Dane. That's not what they're trying. Well, that goes against the whole thing of this show.
The show is dumb, but the one thing it has done is probably cave to the will of producers or higher ups. So I'm wondering if in a first cut of this scene that they actually wanted to end it on a dark note, and that they got overruled. No. Basically, be like, that was too dark.
No way, I don't think so, because the whole part of this whole scene is they're trying to humanize him. They're like, oh, they call me names. These names hurt, and.
But I mean, this show has been in post production for 2 years, right? They're supposed to wrapped filming in early 21 or mid 21. So I mean, or did they? Was it 22?
I think this was the scene from. They want him to be all soft and relatable.
I can say.
And then on top of it is, if they fed the girl to the Trolloc, the scene sort of works. So.
Am I being too generous thinking that maybe they did a working scene first and then
I think you are, because that was my when I was watching it the first time, when we watched it live together.
Yeah, we were all thinking, "Oh my god, this chick!"
Oh my god, it's feed her, just leave her, and it's oh my god, this could actually be creepy as hell, right?
I think Tom Maryland is pointing it out in the chat. He said, "Again, folks, they are trying to redeem the shadow. They are removing the binary morality in the books and replacing it with moral relativism." And I agree completely.
Yeah,
See, I'm not even sure that's necessarily it. Like, I think they want you to look at this and be like, the shadow grooms children. So that makes them bad. But
Yeah, but then Moraine called Leandrin a groomer too, and
I think
yeah, I mean, and
this is supposed to be like he's a crafty evil guy. He tricked the little 5-year-old into thinking he's a nice guy, but really he's not. Like, I think that's what they're trying to go for, but it's not working. And what would have really
But
worked is you
this
feed the
looks like
girl to
it's
the Trolloc, and you move on, and you're like, "Holy crap, that was crazy!" Like, but no, we can't do anything that makes sense.
yeah,
yeah that
I
they're
agree.
taking this turn. It's like, okay, well, so if they weren't overruled, if they had set out to write a scene like this from the outset, there's the child grooming angle, which could be viewed as evil, but they're deconstructing the whole view of evil as well. And what I never thought that they would do is actively try and humanize Trollocs, right?
Yep.
They basically say he's not a monster, maybe he's just hungry, and then they end the fucking shot petting him. Like,
yeah. So we'll pick this back up in a minute. Lyle, you're the man.
thanks, Lyle.
Another super.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Slightly off topic, and I hate to disagree with Mr. Dane because he is the Wheel of Time expert. But to call Wheel of Time anti-Lord of the Rings, I think is off. Wheel of Time is certainly its own story, but to say it's anti is implying that Wheel of Time is attacking Lord of the Rings.
No, Lyle, let me clarify a statement. And thanks for the chat. Much appreciated. But it's more, I'm reacting against people saying that Eye of the World is a clone of Lord of the Rings. And they point to certain similarities like Shale Ghul, Mount Doom, Dark Riders or Myrddraal and the Nazgul. Those types of elements, even the evil counselor Mordeth and Wormtongue, those types of parallels. Where I say it's anti, and I had this discussion last night with Alex on our Book Cloak stream, is when you look at the main characters, the protagonists of the two series respectively, Frodo on one hand and Randall Thor. I think those are as polar opposite of fantasy characters that you can get, and that's where my use of the term anti comes from. Frodo is an everyman. An aristocrat, yes, but the quest is thrust upon him. There's nothing special about Frodo and his abilities and what it is. He is a normal guy or a normal hobbit. He's not super strong. He's not super big. He's not super courageous. He doesn't have any super qualities, but the quest is given to him. And the reason why that story resonated with the crowd that it did is post World War I and World War II. It was a story that everyone could relate to. I've got my mission, I've got my duty, and I can do my part to help save the world. And that's arguably why Lord of the Rings was the smash success that it was of the 20th century. Contrast that with Randall Thor, who is a Christ figure. He has the world on his shoulders. He's a chosen one. It's a chosen one story. He's 6'6". He's broad across the shoulders. He gets good at everything he applies his mind to. Within a year, he's like the best fighter at multiple techniques. He picks up channeling like you wouldn't believe. He becomes kind of a demigod in the shortest amount of time. And he's also tied by his fate kind of throughout. From this, it spills out into a whole bunch of other things about Tolkien not liking allegory to Jordan writing a very allegorical story. So that's ultimately why I use the term anti, and it's all to basically rebut what I think is a very cheap dig at, especially the first book, The Eye of the World. It's not a Tolkien clone. It's an original work of fantasy, and it is a fantastic work of fantasy the more and more you read it. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, and I'll add to that. I think they're like two entirely different literary traditions. One thing that I really enjoyed about Lord of the Rings is that it was written in an epic style. It's got the third-person omniscient narration. Tolkien did a lot of work to try to harken back to like Beowulf and stuff like that, and even older stories like that. And I'm sorry that names are like leaving my head, but yeah, and then you have Eye of the World. It's got a lot more modern conventions. The writing style is completely different. And yeah, like I think that's a good way to put it, Dane. It's anti in that it's like the opposite, not like anti as it's bad.
Yeah, I'll go a step further, and you touched on it briefly, but Lord of the Rings, you mentioned it's inspired by Beowulf, and Gadfly is going to get mad at me, but it's inspired by the classics of, the day and the age. Whereas, Wheel of Time is far more inspired by, more of the pulp short story, that were sort of prevalent in the 60s and 70s.
Oh yeah, I just started reading that stuff. It's so good.
Yeah, and people want to say, well, there's an evil mountain. To which my response is, well, yeah, dude, evil mountains are fucking dope. Like, why wouldn't you have an evil mountain? Like, so, I mean, that's basically a lot of those similarities. Sort of, yes, they exist, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're one caused the other. So, So I guess, Lyle, it sounds like we've given you our take on this. Steve, you want to jump in here? You think we covered it?
I think you covered it. You guys are too smart for me. That's all I know.
Lyle got his $20 worth on that one, I hope.
Hey, man. Yeah, well, you guys, I sort of, like, you guys were going, it's like, I can't say anything to add anything. But Evil Mountains are fun, so I'd like to see one in Wheel of Time at some point. We just have sort of a pittering.
You mean Dick Mountain and Vagina Island?
We have Dick Tower. We have Dick Tower in front of Pitiful Mountains, so we haven't got a cool mountain yet. So that's all I have.
I know we've accused Rafe of being like a racist and everything, but is he an anti-Semite as well as staging his Darkfriend Social inside of the Star of David building? Do we want to go there?
Island, He was on Survivor, so I don't know.
He's got that going for him. But, Did he win?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, then he doesn't have $1 million.
No.
Did he win?
No, he did not.
He won something else.
No, he actually, ironically, he turned his time on CBS into basically an apprenticeship, which led to him becoming a writer, which led to him being on Chuck, which led to him eventually getting in with Sony and doing this show.
What happened to people like going to school and learning how to write and becoming writers?
Because it's easier to be successful if you go the casting couch route.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, ironically, he went to Brown, so it's not like he's a dumbass.
No, he's a dumbass.
No.
He's a dumbass.
Academically, he isn't a dumbass.
Well, it depends what does, I don't know. Favors.
Doesn't something like 40% of Brown identify as?
You know what the funny thing is we found a lot of ways to not watch them pet this Trolloc on the nose. We all know it's coming.
We need some more super chats.
We're about to see two people fondle a Trolloc's face.
No, John Thomas, the Star of David is the Darkfriend house. It's in a 2-triangle design, like it's a 6-pointed star.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
All right,
more chat is smarter than we are and always provides excellent commentary. When I get excited, I forget to read it. But let's watch this Trolloc get pet is a sentence I never thought I would say.
By two people and still have hands. Oh God, like somebody said, like, oh, well, the Trolloc would be terrified of Ishmael. It's like, yeah, but Ishmael wouldn't pet it on the face. Like, what are you talking about?
All right, that hijab comment, was he saying that that's probably one of the Dark Friends, or no?
Do you look like a monster? No, you look like a used car salesman, brah. Okay, now feed her to the Trolloc and scene.
You know what's the saddest thing about this? Is that this is the dude from Zero Dark 30 who plays the translator dude who goes on the mission to kill Bin Laden. I like the actor from that.
Yeah. No.
He was dope.
Again, actors, like, it's not their fault. Like, some of them are very talented, just they're given crap. But like, so if this ended with him going, do I look like a monster? And her going, no. And him getting up and sort of laughing and walking off. And you just see the two Trollocs on the side just pounce, and they just start ripping her to shreds. That actually has some gravitas to it. Like, but no,
it's like, am I a monster? And you're sitting here with this child that,
sit back down and say, there will be no further interruptions.
And
or
then
something
you
like
see
that.
you see a freaking tinker woman fly out the door, and he freaking lights her on fire.
Yeah, or
Or something.
fucking
Like, I mean,
right.
come on. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come here, my pretty.
It's not
Let's
even
pet the Trolloc.
big.
Why is he touching it?
It's so fake looking.
Yeah, am I a monster? Literal Satan? Oh my
It
God,
looks
he is
sad.
the most evil person on the planet. Like, and he's petting a Trolloc. he's like fondling his fangs. It's like, why are you touching his teeth? Like, stop.
What the fuck is this? Like, seriously, it's like even for a second there, you think like, okay, he's gonna start to snarl, and then he's gonna like bite her
doesn't
hand,
even
maybe.
growl.
But he basically the Trolloc fucking cooms at like the touch of the little girl. It's like a creepy.
This is so funny. I found like a sound design
All
article.
right, Alex,
about
you
this.
either got to fix our video orientation here to like make us all equal, or you got to put Lady B in a high profile. There we
Oh,
go.
boy.
Now I'm blocking the good part. There.
All right, I found a really funny like article about the sound design, and I think it said something about the like, yes, it's like the sound of the Trollocs is like a puppy and like a 2-year-old, and I'm
Give me a
just like,
second.
that's the freaking energy of the show, that it is, and I'm just it's really funny. And it was kind of interesting is the sound designers also said that they gave the one power like in oral component, like there was supposed to be something different between the two versions of magic, and apparently that's on the sound. But
Wait, so you're telling me they sound mixed a 2-year-old and a Trolloc?
yeah,
A puppy and a 2-year-old.
yeah,
The
a
growl
puppy
that
and
the
a
Trolloc
2-year-old.
makes. A puppy growling at a 2-year-old is the sound of the Trollocs.
Yeah, we
Fitzy,
spent a day. It said we spent a day in my back garden where we got a puppy who was probably about 12 weeks, I think, a Labrador, and we went and we just tried to get him to bark, so we chased him around the garden and stuff. But because their bark is so high pitched, if we recorded at a certain frequency, then slowed it down. Yeah.
Then we
And then
decided to kick my dog so it would growl at me. And
No, God, oh, don't do that.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying them. Now, my curiosity is this the same person that taped the Shiriam announcement with the
Yeah,
flower?
exactly, Staple. Though, why am I holding a Trolloc?
Yeah. Oh,
Maybe,
Vincy, so cute.
maybe he's just hungry.
Yeah, hungry.
He's
That's it.
hungry.
Just
Save
hungry.
the
Just a
Trollocs.
hungry puppy.
Oh, let's see if he stays in his bed.
Oh my God. Maybe he's just hungry. No, he's a rage monster that eats and kills. Nope,
Yes,
not
yes.
a puppy.
Wants to eat people, yes.
Just a literally created rage monster that yeah.
What's the first thing that like is said about Trollocs? They enjoy killing for the sake of killing, and apparently that's contradicted now. They were not bloodthirsty monsters; they were just hungry.
Misunderstood.
And then I have to ask, well, if they were so hungry, why the fuck did they leave like 15 sheep carcasses in the shape of a teardrop
It's true.
in the two rivers?
Also,
You dumb
but
fucks.
that explains why they disappeared from half of the season. They got hungry, so they had
Yeah,
to go like.
So they had to go to Arby's.
They had they had to go for. They don't eat meat apparently because they left those sheep, so they
Oh
were
my
like trying to find herbs and roots.
I know.
Steve, is that the explanation here? Is that why the little girl didn't get eaten? That's why the sheep are vegan Trollocs?
Maybe they're vegan.
They're
Trollocs.
vegans.
Oh my
And
God.
obviously they're trying to redeem them, which makes everything that happened on Winter Night just really questionable. You know, if they're really good people at heart, like
Yeah, but
They were
no,
foraging.
nobody who is vegan was ever evil. Hitler.
They were.
hey, he's a vegetarian, right? Not full on vegan.
I don't think that there were vegans in the 40s, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
All I know is they saw Nynaeve and they ran. That's it.
So was that the end of it, Alex?
That's
Yes,
it.
that is the end. That is all 4
All right.
minutes. It took us. We averaged.
We're not even done yet
We
because
averaged
I got
20
more to
minutes
say.
per minute of content. So Dane,
Good.
let's kick off
Dane,
the
let's
second
go.
half
Let's hear
here.
it.
What are we?
Yeah, exactly. Second
half.
Okay, so here's the thing. Okay?
Quaking in my boots.
We knew that this kind of a scene was coming, right? Because we got the still, and then we got a couple frames of it in the trailer. A lot of people pointed out, little girl. What's a little girl doing there? I defy anyone to have been able to predict that the writers of this show would have taken the Boars prologue, the Darkfriend Social. I don't even like that term. I'm just calling it the man who called himself Boars, and turn that scene into a combination that is 50% an Arrested Development joke, take your daughter to work day, and 50% a Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals advertisement featuring Sarah McLachlan for Trollocs. No one could have come up with that. Like we could do a challenge and be like, okay, we've got a scene coming up that we know, like Rand fights Turok, right? That's coming. Rand shows up. He's gonna write the dumbest fucking fight scene that'll come out of that, and you can't even approach to what will actually happen. That's my warning to anyone who tries to predict the show. Like, it's not possible. It's not possible.
Well, the craziest thing about that is like, we're gonna get zero. Rand's just gonna show up and be a blade master because he's got a sword.
Yeah,
it's all is Rand fights nobody, and that just the Aiel show up and the Whitecloaks show up, and there's like a 3-way fight, and they just happen to escape. But
or Turok fights him because he's got fucking 10-inch fingernails. He can't grip his sword well enough, and he chops once, and his sword flies out of his hand, and then Rand wins.
Yeah,
maybe they'll do that. But it's not just the Turok fight scene. Any scene that we know that is probably forthcoming. Just remember, we saw a Boars prologue. They were in a round table. It was stupid. We're going to have all these people around it. But no one could have imagined they're going to film this from the perspective of a little girl who is there inexplicably, and it's going to end with Ishamael taking her outside to pet a Trolloc.
Was it you,
Dane,
Alex?
You were right about that. There is nothing this show is unpredictable, and we're never ever going to be able to predict how bad it could possibly be. But whatever happens, it'll be worse than we could ever imagine.
Yep.
Because we're not that stupid. And I've dumbed myself down quite a bit over the last 2 years drinking to this fucking thing. And I still can't imagine this stuff. Like, I've tried to get in their heads, but it's impossible.
So I have a prediction, and I want you guys to mark it down. Avienda kills more people with a bladed weapon than Rand, Matt, and Perrin combined.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
think that's a slam dunk.
Just in this season or over the whole?
Just in this season.
Okay.
I think that's a slam dunk. I don't think Rand's going to kill anybody.
All right. We have another super chat because Lyle is a fucking stud.
Wild.
So I guess Lyle is tipping us for the excellent content from the last one. He said, that was worth $20, Lyle. Thanks for explaining, and serious question. What will the show use as an excuse for Belzamon to be with the Shanshan, because there's absolutely nothing in the books? So I have an answer for you, Lyle. The answer is going to be Archer Hawkwing. Archer Hawkwing had his empire set up. Ishii got birthed back out of the Dark One's prison, and he set himself up as an advisor, and he then immediately, basically, I'm not going to say used compulsion, but he influenced Hawking, and it destroyed Hawking's empire. He sent all of the heirs off to go get either assassinated or on the continent, and then he finally killed Hawking himself, leading to the War of 100 Years. They're going to say that's what he's doing here. Now, it's going to be completely idiotic because, when Ishii was doing that with Hawking, he basically wandered in, sort of gave some advice, and then sort of acted like, he wasn't hanging out as Hawking's servant. He was just sort of sticking in, giving some orders and some advice, and then bouncing. He wasn't in a subservient role, really.
Can I ask something?
Steve.
Didn't wait? Just to go off your theory, didn't he just get freed by Rand at the end? Like,
In the
wasn't he
show.
trapped?
Yeah.
So in the
So
books,
how is he masquerading in Sean Chan if he just got freed?
I mean, same way. I mean, the defense
No,
that was basically the same way that it did when he did it with Hawking. He just
I think
showed
it's
up,
going to be something.
everybody, and
But he
So
was
Steve-
trapped. He was
Steve,
trapped.
you raised a very important point, and the best. So the show's big problem is essentially it veers from the source material, but it occasionally veers back. And when it veers back, it does so inexplicably. And season 1 is filled with all this type of stuff. For example, I don't know if anyone's not seen yet the Sword and the Pen Reflections, but it's an editor lady who's doing really good reviews about the show and the books because she's consuming them both at the same time in the same order. And one thing that struck her was Lan's fascination with Nynaeve and her ability to track him, particularly in episode 3, and how this kind of becomes a very first focal point to their relationship, culminating in the fantastic line of "she has a tell" at the very end, which is just fucking stupid. But we know from the book, from the Eye of the World, that that's actually a very early part of their relationship, because it's one thing that Nynaeve says when they're at the Stag and Lion in Baerlon, that she was able to track Lan's trails and false trails and didn't make it easy. And Lan sounded impressed. So there was a first kind of measure of mutual respect. But the relationship grew out of something as nascent as that. So we know why it's in the show. But the show neglects or forgets that she didn't track them to Shatter Logoth in the book. She tracked them to Baerlon. In the show, she apparently tracks them to Shatter Logoth behind an army of 300 Trollocs. So the question that Lan is asking, like, how did you track me, is answered with, dude, I didn't track you. I tracked the 300 fucking Trollocs that were just here 20 minutes ago. What the hell is wrong with you? But
speaking of those kind of like logical jumps, there's someone in the chat, Chris Saunders, made a really excellent point, is that what happens in this scene makes absolutely no sense. This is what they said. Has anyone brought up in this scene makes no sense in context of what this scene wants to say. The girl was chased into the house by the Trollocs attacking her, and it ends with her petting the Trollocs because they're not really bad. So pick a lane, guys. Just classic show. Like, we don't know, like, are they good? Are they bad? Can they be saved?
So my answer to the issue with Sean Chan is going to be much stupider. I think he's just going to be like, "Hey, I'm out now. You dark friend, I'm in charge." That's gonna be it. That's gonna be it. Oh, and here's the Horn of Ilir, so you can crush the Whitecloaks.
Why is that even needed?
Why not? I mean, he's got it. Why not? Right? It makes no sense. So I think I'm on the money. I know. I like Alex's answer.
We still don't know what the horn is. What does it do? Why are they looking for it?
I think Alex's answer is way too nuanced and thoughtful, and makes too much sense. So there's no way it's going to be in the show. He's just going to show up next to Saroth and going to be like, "Ooh, they're bad people because there's that used car salesman right there."
Or they're like
Lady B makes another good point. Is basically, I think the first time we hear about the Horn of Valir is when they dug it out of the fucking throne.
Yeah, it is.
And then Perrin's like, "What's that?" And then Una's like, "The Horn of Bloody Valir." And it's
yeah. No, it's because I remember that because we're like, well, they're not going to the Eye of the World. You're not going to get a pool of Sidene. Are they even going to do the Horn of Valir? And then all of a sudden it's like,
here it is.
Here it is. Surprise. It's under the throne. It's like, what? Excuse me? Like, and then they're not even going to hunt it. There's going to be
not under some throne. Steve, it's not under just any throne. It's under the throne of the character who in the books is begging Moraine to take it from him because the temptation is too great because he wants to take it, blow it for himself, and lead all the heroes to Shale Ghul and conquer the Dark One. Like, yeah.
That's where we're at.
But yeah, it's
what
is Ishii even doing? Like, they have the horn. They have the dagger. They don't even need to blow it. Like they could just like lock it up or put it in a vacuole or
Throw it into Mount Doom.
It's over.
They could put it anywhere. Like if
Or they could just blow it. The heroes can't work for the dark side, but like they're just kind of in limbo and they can't really do anything, so they can use it again. So
It's just like it's over.
I don't know.
It's like
Hi, Zach.
It's so depressing. All the scenes.
That's leaving aside how small the horn is ultimately going to be when it's revealed, because it's going to be like. It's going to be like a tiny little bugle, is what they're going to do.
Well, you can see it. Yeah, it's going to be. Yeah. But it's just like the thing that hurts so much is like you're holding up the Great Hunt, right? There's not going to be a Great Hunt for the Horn. We still don't know what the hell the Horn of Valyr is in the show. It's just going to be like, ooh, we could rule the world with this thing, and it's like no context, but you have to go to their stupid thing to look at it. And then on top of all that, all I can think about is how we're going to lose another epic scene of Rand and Loial stealing the horn back, and then all this stuff. It's like that's another all-timer scene. Them sneaking in and stealing it right out from under his fucking nose, and then everything that happens after that, gone. And it's just like,
Steve, how much do you want to bet? How much do you want to bet that the Great Hunt in the show is Moiraine's Great Hunt for a double-ended marital aid? And that's precisely what Rand and Loial are sent to Kinslayer's dagger to steal?
She may be hunting for a portal, like her own Terrangral, so they can just surprise each other at any time, right? So like, so they can connect portals. They can connect. They're the only two people that can travel in the world, and they just travel for booty calls. That's it. Like, it's like, this seems like a pretty good tool. Let's save it for fucking. It's like,
oh, you know what's really horrible with the whole Ishi hanging out with the Shanshin? Dane, you could refresh my memory here. Who was the Forsaken that was with the Shanshin? It was one of the ladies.
Semirhage.
Yeah. A black woman, like, going in there doing things, destroying the Shanshin, having agency, doing something really huge. Right? Even though she's a bad guy, like, she's doing something. That's a strong woman character. So now now it's Ishi? Like,
well, can I ask why are none of the Shanshan black?
No, Turok is.
He's the only, like, why isn't...
No, there's several of them. It's a multicultural. That's one thing the show got right, but I mean, it's something that they would never be able to get wrong
by accident.
So let's not give them any credit.
Yeah, I guess Turok is. You're right. Never mind. But no Semi. Death to Semi. Semi's not going to be in the show either.
It's going to be interesting because we basically confirmed they have to cut down to 8 Forsaken.
When we look through the puppets, right?
Yeah, and there's some other stuff. The points of the star behind the dragon seal. There's some other stuff that would lead one to believe that. So, who are they cutting?
Agenor and Balthamel, they'll cut for sure.
Yep.
Because they didn't include them at the Eye of the World. Probably done with. But their future storylines, not doing any spoilers, would obviously be problematic.
Asmodean is gone.
Asmo might not be needed. Bilal, if they're compressing books 2 and 3 together, I would say Bilal's an easy one to cut. Mm-hmm. So Asmo, Agenor.
Asmo, I think you guys said it. Logain's going to take the role of Asmo.
Could be, and then Bilal. So I've already taken out 3.
Semi.
Would they get rid of Semi? I don't know.
Well, look, it sounds bad, but they could get rid of Demandred pretty easily. Which would be a shame, but Demandred could be gone.
Yeah, so if you have to keep it 4 male and 4 female, which I think
so you're going to get Mogandine, you're going to get Grendel, you're going to get Lanfear.
Well, we know we were going to get Lanfear.
I guess maybe Semirhage
or Masana, but I don't know if they take out Masana because
it'll be Masana because of the tower.
No. Masana is Egwene's time to shine, so I don't think they'll take that out if they had any chance. So maybe they do Semirhage, but in all likelihood, they'll probably ditch the Grandal.
No way, Jesus! Twitter time is fucking erect as hell for Fain.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like I feel like what Semi and Semi. I think those are the four. You got Mogadine,
Yeah.
Lanfear, Grendel, and
Well,
Osana.
they could get rid of
Those are the four.
Moghedian, but the
But I
like that
think
would
the
just,
girls have too much power over her. There's too much girl power stuff
Can
that
you
happens with
combine
Mogadine.
Moghedian and Semirog into one? Is my question.
No.
you probably could. My question is whether or
You
not
couldn't.
the show
Oh
can
my
do
god,
fucking
that's
good.
anything.
cursing. Combining Asmodean with Tom.
Dude, the show totally could.
The show
They
could.
will. Anything that we
But-
think they can do, it's just going to be
But
10 times more
here's the
crazy
thing.
and dumb.
Let me just explain my thinking here. Steve, and being spoiler free for those in the chat who aren't at the later books, but we know why Agenor and Balthamel, particularly Balthamel, will be problematic, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
we know Moghedian and what she goes through in her arc, in large part, like she uses the compulsion weaves. That's not too much of a spoiler. I'm not saying when or how, but there's the other part with her in Saladar. How is that going to work now that we know what the Damane, like the Idam, is supposed to look like?
No,
Would they do that, right? And more to the point, Egwene is probably going to know all those weaves they're supposed to discover in their Saladar arc by like season 2.
Yeah.
So what's the point
Yeah.
of having Moghedian?
You're not
Plus
wrong.
she gets raped by Shadowhuron, which they probably don't want to show either. And the mind
So
trap
does
scene,
so
very problematic.
So does Asana.
Yeah, that's an easier thing to cut.
But
And
but
really,
I
she
think
only
that-
gets.
so obviously got Ishii. Like I really think they could get rid of Demandred if they wanted to. I like it'd be like I don't know why you
So
would
I
do
mean,
it, but
you keep Ishii, and then you basically have
Ravine they'd love because of everything that happens with him and a certain queen.
So you combine Ravin and Samael.
What about Well, what you think?
Samael was in.
Samael.
Come on, they already did Manlet Samael with his little statuette. The like he's half the size of everybody else, but like, are they going to let a Manlet fuck the queen? I don't think they will.
I don't know, man. I
Anyways,
think
I think we're getting into weird speculation, and you know what? This is kind of moot speculation because they weren't going to get to most of the Forsaken until season 4, which will never fucking happen.
And we're never gonna see it. Yeah, that was what I was gonna say. I was like, we shouldn't have to worry about this because we know, like, they probably won't even do season 3.
Nah. Season 3, it'll get, if it gets canceled, it'll be because of the strikes and outside of contract.
Oh yeah, that'll be the excuse.
But
last year it was COVID. This year it'll be like
I think they're gonna. Like, I'm still sticking by. I still think.
I agree with it.
I've been 4 seasons from the beginning. I'm gonna stick with it.
No, it's the streaming services. They all sign up 3-year contracts. Is apparently an industry norm that we just learned about, which makes a hell of a lot of sense in hindsight, looking at all these shows that get 3 seasons then are canceled. So you have to be a very, very good show in order to
actually go on. Yeah, that was the whole thing, because they used to do pilots, and like a season was like between 20 and 24 episodes. And so basically the streamers did is like, okay, you get 3 seasons and each season is 8 episodes. So you end up producing like a whole, would have been a normal season, but for streaming it's just broken down and it's shorter. So yeah, that's been the kind of streaming model for a really long time. And they go direct to series, so there's no pilot or anything, which was a good way to gauge the interest and the quality of the show, but they don't do that anymore. But maybe they will be, because they're losing so much money. And actually there were a few shows that are starting to go back to the pilot model with the streamers, so that'll be interesting to see from a business end.
Hey Dovey, how's it going, bud? No, it's I think when we started this channel, Alex, I think we made it our ambition to one day make $3.50 doing this. I think we're there. However, I think purchasing the rights, television rights for Wheel of Time for $3.50, we're not there yet. We're close, but we just have to be patient. The value will come down, and
Rafe's got 2 more seasons of this. I'm not sweating it. We're in the clear, baby.
Soon people will be paying us to pick up these rights.
Oh my God.
But that'll be fun. Well, just so everyone who's been so generous to us tonight, we do have plans for the funds that you're giving to us. We are, putting it in the kitty. We are saving it up, and our ambition is ultimately to buy the rights for a screen adaptation of the Wheel of Time, and maybe do it better. I don't know. Do you guys think we could? Probably.
With stick figures, we absolutely.
Well, there's a What Origin season 2 premiere trailer.
Oh, I'm
Like
not
what?
gonna watch that. God.
It's garbage.
No, Trip was saying that.
It's garbage. Like the animation got worse.
Hold on.
Is
So
that
it's
possible?
the animated ones? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's got worse. At least in my opinion, it got worse. It doesn't look. It looks. It's bad. It's bad.
All right. Are we prepared for what Twitter of Time is going to find tomorrow?
Well, that's why I
Wednesday
said I think we might get.
Are they still doing
tomorrow.
What Wednesday, or did they just give up?
I think they gave up.
Well, no, because
they're still doing it, but they don't call it that because Judkins isn't allowed to promote it. So they're still dumping all of the stuff that they would dump on Wednesdays, but they just have gone away from the name.
Yeah. So
Which is great because it's not the Wheel of Time.
Right?
Well,
it's like when Subway.
This is how we found this scene about the exact same time as anybody else did.
Yeah.
So I think Steve was streaming about it before like most of Watch Show was even commenting on it. So.
I freaking lost my mind because Trip freaking. Well, I don't know. Between you and Trip, like it got to me. I'm like, and I popped it open and my head exploded. It was like, oh my God.
They're gonna feed that little girl. No, wait, he pets it? What the fuck?
Like, what? No, I lost it at the ring. The ring. I didn't even. I lost it at the ring. The ring was where I was just like, no way, no way.
The ring. Oh yeah, the
ring. I couldn't. That's where I lost
cast
it.
It into the fire.
But that's why I think we're getting a. I think we're getting an animation tomorrow, just because of that little blip, that preview of.
All right, I don't think we care. But I haven't seen any of those What Origins things, so I'm not going to start.
Yeah.
All right, Alex, you got anything more to discuss tonight? It's your stream, bud, but.
No,
it was my idea. I'm sorry. I put him on the spot.
Yeah, no, this was good because this was some learning how to do some things that I should have known a year ago, but I've been lazy, and Pips has enabled my laziness. So no, we'll be putting out some more stuff. I have a video on a Shamael that I'm hoping to drop maybe Thursday. It's almost ready.
Excellent. Well, we got Book Cloaks in 2 weeks. We got Ozzymoto joining us for Play for Your Supper.
Yay, that's the best part.
So, Steve, over to you. What do you got up? Animation coming?
Oh, I've been so busy with work and home. I fell behind on a lot of stuff. So I got a bunch of videos I want to try and get done. I haven't even put together these freaking bingo cards that got put together last week. So I got to get that all wrapped up. Probably do I think we'll do a stream tomorrow. Maybe we'll see. Hopefully, I have to find something so it's not just talking about the same thing over and over again. But hopefully, they provide something ridiculously stupid to talk about, which seems to not be hard to find. I really haven't even gone article hunting here lately. So probably stream tomorrow night. I'd say around 8. We'll do an unhype. We might as well. We're getting close to September 1st. I took the day off, so man.
You took September 1st off?
Oh, come on, man! Of course, right?
But
you
realize
I gotta prepare it. I got to eat my Wheaties, get the keyboard stacked up. Ozzy, Alex is gonna hook you up with my address so you can send them my way. I gotta get the keyboard stacked up. We're gonna probably smash in one a minute at some point. I am afraid they're going to drop all 8 at once. all 8 episodes at once.
I think they're going to do 3. I think that's their model.
That's what they did last time, 3 and then 5, and then 1 in a week. I hope they stick to that. But with the screwy schedule they had for
if they do all 8, it's going to be a long fucking night on the Discord. But
Holy shit.
Oh man, I really hope they do.
well, I'm telling. Wait. So
we'll
here's
have
the deal.
a marathon viewing.
If it's all 8, I'm gonna watch them all and probably I'll just stream my reaction killing stuff, because stuff will break. So like I'm pretty dedicated to just watching the whole thing in one sitting. Which I may die. I don't know.
I might have told. I almost did die at the premiere. Like I got I got 2 episodes down when it premiered, but I had so much whiskey by the end of those 2 episodes that I had to stop.
All I remember is I watched. My father was interested because he knows about how much I like Wheel of Time. So by the end of the 2nd episode, my father walked out of the room. He's like, "I'm not watching this garbage," and I'm like,
"My
"Well."
mom was like that too. I started throwing it up in the freaking TV, and she's like, "Shut up, please!"
And
Ryan
was getting more entertainment out of watching me laugh, cry, and just go from like all these stages of emotions. Ryan was enjoying watching me getting mad more than the show. So, oh man, it's gonna be terrible.
Man, I feel so bad for you guys. My initial reaction upon watching it was bewilderment. I was just confused. I was like, "How are you this bad at this? Like, it's a layup. Put it in the basket." Like,
all the scenes have been written for you.
Well,
what? This is not a hard thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. Just pick. It's already there. It's like, God damn it. The hula hooping, I think, was just like
starting right off the bat and like ruining my boy Logan. I'm like, why?
Well, fuck. God, the meme today was essentially that her channeling was the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Well, now we have, what is it? It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
All right. I think we got to end the stream before we get too drunk. But Lady Balefire, is there anything you've got going on your channel or otherwise?
I finally finished editing the part 3 of a fan fiction discussion that me and Alex had like almost a year ago. And it was very interesting working on this video because when I was reviewing it, I was realizing that how much like the culture of fandom is like really fed into the whole like LGBT grooming thing, and I'm like, I need to make a new video on this, and so that's what I've been working on feverishly into the night. And I need to record and start getting clips and stuff, but I have like all of the script done now, and I'm really excited to do that again. And then hopefully like around the start of next month, probably we're gonna do Silmarillion, I can talk, book club. So if anyone wants to join, any of you guys on the panel are welcome. Anyone in the chat, we're gonna do it Whitecloak style, and we're gonna have me hiking Fainor, that was on one of the book club streams, and probably Gadfly and Nathan, Menethrin. So it'll be a good time. I've never read it again, so I'm looking forward to that. And of course, I'll be on with Zach's every Wednesday too, so that's always exciting. The highlight of my week too. And yes, I will definitely talk about AO3, Scotty. Like that is a den of iniquity.
Absolutely. John Thomas, unfortunately, no Trolloc Lives Matter t-shirts yet. Though if Lyle if Lyle keeps hitting those super chats like he is, you may find us moving some merch. So
that would be funny.
Thank you to Lyle, who has been fantastic and generous nerd man as well. Love you. Can't wait to have you on again.
Hey.
And
I got my Teespring back, so maybe I'll do a Trolloc Lives Matter.
yeah. I even photoshopped the little Trolloc fist thing.
The Trolloc fist on ADO's video was fantastic. So on that note, I don't believe we have anything else. So I'm going
not this week.
Say walk in the light.
Walk in the light, guys.
That sounds like a question.
Well, my question is, which button do I press to end the stream?
The end
I think there's
stream
a-
button
I
usually.
think there's an end stream button at the bottom
Oh,
right.
hail the Lord Dragon.